Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. I'm an author and a depression counselor. Welcome to your Depression Recovery channel, where each week we talk about coping tools and practical strategies to heal from depression and anxiety. The topic of today's video is, why would a person want to kill himself? And the answer to that question can be stated in a single word: pain. When a person is in intense pain, he or she wants that pain to stop. For example, if you have a headache, you might want to take an aspirin or Tylenol. If the pain is more severe, like I had after my root canal, you might take a Vicodin. However, the pain of depression is impervious to normal painkillers. This is because no one can really identify where the pain of depression is coming from in the brain. No one knows what receptor sites are being affected. It's more diffuse and global, but that doesn't make it any less painful. For example, William Styron said on the eve of his hospitalization for depression, "I would rather have my arm cut off without anesthesia than to be having the pain I'm having right now." Not only is the pain of depression deep and intractable, it feels like it will never end. The depressed person might think, I'm stuck in some sort of eternal hell. At this point, oblivion may seem like a better choice than a never-ending torment. So what is the answer to this dilemma? Imagine the scales. On one side is pain, on the other side is coping resources. The problem here is that the scale is out of balance. It's way down on the side of pain. And the good news is there are two ways you can get the scale back into balance. You can either lessen the pain or increase the coping resources. And I talk about some of these resources in my book, Healing from Depression, like exercise and social support and good diet and medication. And as you engage in activities such as these, as you increase your coping resources, the pain will become more bearable. Here is one coping skill I used when I was suicidal that I would like to share with you. It's called Back to the Present. And I used it when my mind would travel to the future because I was having a really powerful anxiety attack or I was suffering from a really bad depression. And I would make statements like, I can't go on like this. I can't bear this pain. If I'm going to live like this, I might as well end it all. And all this did was further accelerate or increase my hopelessness and despair and brought me closer to the prospect of suicide. As a way to keep me safe, my therapist and I devised a simple but powerful 3-step process for responding to my catastrophic and despairing self-talk. I have written this technique in a prescriptive fashion here, in other words, saying what to do to make it easier for you to apply. And now I'd like to share these 3 steps with you now. So here's step 1. Notice what is happening. Identify the catastrophic thinking you're engaged in. Like, for example, you might be saying, I'll never get better, or this will go on forever. Number 2, realize that what you're talking about is something in the future. And since the future has yet to occur, it really can't hurt you. It's something imagined. And number 3 is refocus your mind onto the present moment. Remove it from the future and focus on the here and now. And then ask yourself, what constructive step can I take to basically alleviate the pain? Such as if you're anxious like I was, you might try going for a swim or calling a friend or taking a brisk walk or taking an anti-anxiety drug. All of these things are something you do right now to basically minimize the pain or at least tone down the pain. And if you can do this one day at a time, in other words, don't worry about what's going to happen 5 days or 5 years from now. Just say, how can I get through the day? That's something you can handle in the present moment. And that will take your mind away from the catastrophe you're thinking about in the future and into the present moment where you can cope in the here and now. I cannot tell you how many times this simple technique helped me to manage my catastrophic and potentially dangerous thinking. It brought my mind out of the future into the here and now where I could bear the pain maybe for a day, an hour, or even a minute. And so I pass this technique on to you and hoping that you can use it yourself or even pass it on to a friend or a loved one. This technique, again, will get you out of hopelessness, especially when you think about the future, and bring you back to the here and now where you can do something about it and live one day at a time. This has been Douglas Bloch. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to basically give me your feedback, you can leave your comments in the comments section or write me douglasbloch@gmail.com. And those of you who have sent emails about your personal experiences, I really thank you. I'm thinking about you, and I know you're going to get better. If you want to learn more about this work, you can go to my website, healingfromdepression.com, subscribe to this channel, or click on the links in the closing credits. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you.